Hey guys, congratulations, you've made it to the last video. So today we're going to be looking at surface area and volume for all three shapes. And I'm going to show you a different way to do it. If you've looked in your textbook, you would have seen this way, and I'll explain why I taught you a different way. So the first shape we'll look at is rectangular prism. And I'm going to just give it random numbers. So first we want to find out the surface area. So how I had you do it was draw the net, find the area of each rectangle, and add them together. And that's completely the right way to do it. And as you saw with our worksheets, we had a lot of questions that didn't have a top or didn't have a bottom or was missing a side. And so that was the easiest way to do it. But if you have a complete rectangular prism, there's another way to do it. And that is, you look at the three projected views we looked at: the front, the top, and the side. So in this case, if we look at the front, it's 8 by 2. But remember, because this is a complete rectangular prism, for every front we have a back. So we actually have to multiply that by 2. Now we look at the top. That's going to be 4 by 2. And for every top, we have a bottom, so we multiply that by 2. And the last one is our side. And that's going to be 8 high and 4 across. And for every side, we have the other side, so it's going to be multiplied by 2. And now we have to follow BEDMAS. So we do the multiplications first in the brackets. So we have 2 times 16 plus 2 times 8 plus 2 times 32. Now we multiply out the brackets. 2 times 16 is 32, 2 times 8 is 16, 2 times 32 is 64. Now we add them together. Nope, it'll be 112. Sorry guys, doing this without a calculator. Yep, 112. And let's say that these were all centimeters. Because we only ever multiplied 2 centimeters together, it'll be centimeters squared. When it comes to the volume, all you have to do is take the three measurements, length times width times height, and multiply them together. 2 times 4 times 8. And because we've multiplied centimeters together 3 times, we have centimeters cubed. For a triangular prism, this one doesn't really have a shortcut. The main thing is you have to look at the sides of your triangle. Because if you have 3 different sides of your triangle, each of your rectangles is going to be different. So you're going to have 3 different rectangles to calculate, and then your 2 triangles to calculate. So again, for these ones, it's the easiest to draw it out, figure out the area of each part, and add it together. So there's no shortcut for this one. And then the volume is going to be the base times height divided by 2, and that's the height of the triangle, times the height of the prism. The last one is our cylinder. You have to be careful with this one because I saw a few of you who handed in your assignments were using the diameter instead of the radius. You have to use the radius. If the line goes all the way across the circle, you need to divide it by 2. So to figure out the surface area for this one, you do your circle, which is pi r squared. But you have a top circle and you have a bottom circle, so you times it by 2. And then you have your rectangle that goes all the way around. So remember, the height is just the height. But to find out the length of the rectangle, it's the same as the circumference. So it's 2 pi r, which is the length, times the height. So they did give you this equation in your textbook. Like I said, I previously didn't give you guys these equations because unless you understand where they come from, they're not very useful to you. It's easy enough to plug the numbers in, but once you came across that question about the baking sheet that had no top, you wouldn't know how to adjust the equation to be able to fit your needs. So the volume for this one is the area of the circle, so again pi r squared, and then we're going to times it by the height. So it's just pi r squared times height. So this week's assignment is in the Google Drive. So if you go to my website, mrstcote.wordpress.com, click Math 8, and you scroll down a bit, right above the calendar, it'll say click here for notes, worksheets, and assignments. And then you have to choose, I do believe it's called Unit 5 Volume, Lesson 3, and in that folder there's only going to be 2 things. This document that I just wrote out and the worksheet. And the worksheet is called Surface Area and Volume Review at Home. If you do open it up at the very end of the second page, just to let you know, there is the answer key so that if you are getting, when you get your answers, you can check them to see if they are correct. Do keep in mind this assignment is due by Wednesday just because my marks are due Friday, first thing Friday morning. I hope you guys have a wonderful week and I will talk to you guys later.